Okay, imagine this. You're scrolling through your usual history documentaries, seeing the same old narratives about the Cold War. But what if I told you there's a book that rips open those narratives, exposing a hidden history of US-backed mass violence that shaped the world we live in today? Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a truly groundbreaking and, frankly, disturbing book, Vincent Bevins' The Jakarta Method, Washington's anti-communist crusade and the mass murder program that shaped our world. This isn't just another history book, it's an exposé that's shifting our understanding of the Cold War and America's role in it. Now, when we talk about the Cold War, we often picture proxy wars, espionage and ideological battles. But Bevins, in his 2020 work, argues for something far more sinister, a systematic program of mass killings supported and facilitated by the United States government. And the blueprint for this chilling Jakarta Method? The Indonesian mass killings of 1965-66. He's not just making accusations here. Bevins backs up his claims with extensive archival research, declassified documents, and, perhaps most powerfully, raw, heartbreaking survivor interviews. He systematically documents how the US government wasn't just observing, but actively participating in a brutal anti-communist crusade that left an estimated 1 million people dead in Indonesia alone. Think about that number for a second. 1 million lives extinguished. So who is Vincent Bevins, and why should we trust his deep dive into such a sensitive topic? Well, Bevins brings some serious credentials to the table. Born in 1984, he's got a master's degree in international political economy from the London School of Economics, but his real strength lies in his extensive career as a foreign correspondent. He's worked for the Financial Times, covered Brazil for the Los Angeles Times from 2011 to 2016, a period incredibly relevant as Brazil saw some of the early implementations of these anti-communist tactics. Then, in 2017, he moved to Jakarta to cover Southeast Asia for the Washington Post, giving him direct access to the very ground zero of the Jakarta Method. And it's not just about reporting. Bevins has a proven track record of impactful investigative journalism. In 2012, his investigation into modern slavery in the Amazon rainforest led to real-world change, with companies agreeing to stop using slave-produced charcoal. This isn't just an academic exercise for him, it's about holding power accountable. So what exactly is the Jakarta Method that Bevins talks about? His central thesis is a game changer. He argues that instead of just reacting to communist threats, the US actively developed and implemented a proactive program of mass political violence. The goal? To crush left-wing movements before they could even get a foothold. And the most chilling part? The Indonesian mass killings weren't an isolated event. Bevins meticulously traces how this blueprint was replicated across continents. We're talking about Brazil, Guatemala, Chile, Argentina. The techniques refined in Southeast Asia were systematically deployed to dismantle burgeoning left-wing movements. This transnational approach is key, revealing patterns that might otherwise be missed in more localized studies. Let's get into the grim details of the Indonesian case. Between September 1965 and 1966, under General Suharto, the Indonesian military systematically wiped out the Indonesian Communist Party, or PKI. This wasn't some fringe group. The PKI was the world's third largest communist party after China and the Soviet Union. And the targets weren't just party members. We're talking about independent trade unionists, feminist activists, and even supporters of President Sukarno's non-aligned government. The scale of this violence is staggering. Academic estimates, corroborated by Bevins' research, suggest anywhere from 500,000 to 3 million people were murdered. And the methods? Brutal. Mass shootings, dismemberment, beheading, torture. This wasn't spontaneous mob violence. Bevins reveals these were carefully planned military operations, using strategies actually taught by the United States. Yes, you heard that right. Bevins, through declassified CIA documents and military training records, demonstrates the extent of American involvement. The US provided intelligence, diplomatic cover, and tactical support. They even supplied lists of targets for elimination and coordinated international diplomatic efforts to legitimize Suharto's regime after the bloodbath. And the irony? The PKI, according to Bevins, wasn't a radical, violent revolutionary party. They were a moderate political force focused on land reform, labor rights, women's inclusion, and economic independence. Their very moderation, paradoxically, made them vulnerable. They lacked the armed capacity to defend themselves when the military machine rolled in. Now, how did Bevins uncover all this? His methodology is fascinating. He blends traditional archival research with extensive oral history collection. And his survivor interviews aren't just about facts. He asked a powerful two-part question. Before 1965, What did you believe the world would be like in the 21st century? And is that the world today? This approach humanizes the victims, showing us what was lost beyond mere statistics. It connects the historical trauma to the present, reinforcing his argument about the enduring consequences of these Cold War interventions. The combination of declassified documents and raw survivor testimony creates an incredibly compelling and rigorous evidentiary foundation. The LSE Review of Books praised his ability to weave interviews with academic sources, backroom CIA dealings with thwarted dreams of would-be revolutionaries, and the academic world has taken notice. The Jakarta Method has been overwhelmingly well received, earning rave reviews from critics and scholars across political science, history, international relations, and even genocide studies. Thomas Kingston, reviewing for the LSE Review of Books, called it excellent, well-researched and tightly written, highlighting how it pieces together events relatively unknown outside of academic or activist circles. Crucially, scholars emphasize that Bevins avoids polemic. Kingston notes that the book cannot be dismissed by possible critics as simply an anti-American diatribe. This is vital for a work tackling such controversial aspects of US foreign policy. It maintains scholarly objectivity while documenting deeply disturbing truths. But why does all this matter today? Bevins argues that the Jakarta Method isn't just history, it's a living legacy. The techniques developed during the Indonesian campaign have adapted and continue to be deployed, creating what he calls an imperial boomerang effect. The tactics used abroad eventually influence domestic political discourse and practice. The survivor interviews reveal the ongoing trauma, the knowledge that their past political aspirations are still considered criminal. This ongoing delegitimization is a form of violence that extends far beyond the physical killings. And let's not forget the economic angle. Bevins meticulously documents how the destruction of Indonesia's political left immediately opened up Indonesian markets to American entrepreneurs, leading to what he terms crony capitalism. This suggests these mass killings served a specific economic function beyond simple anti-communist ideology, facilitating a global economic restructuring. In conclusion, Vincent Bevins' The Jakarta Method is more than just a book. It's a vital piece of historical scholarship that fundamentally reshapes our understanding of the Cold War and US foreign policy. It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about systematic mass violence and its transnational replication. Bevins, with his blend of rigorous archival research, powerful survivor interviews, and a sweeping transnational scope, has produced a work that is both academically significant and incredibly accessible to anyone seeking to understand the historical roots of our contemporary global inequalities and political violence. This book isn't just about the past, it's about the present. By revealing the systematic nature of Cold War violence and its enduring consequences, Bevins provides essential context for understanding current debates about American foreign policy, international intervention, and global political development. It's a challenging read, but an absolutely essential one if we want to build a more just and peaceful future. What are your thoughts on the Jakarta Method? Have you read it, or does this review make you want to pick it up? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive.